Okay, these are just my thoughts on how to make a sustainable lending platform. Okay, first, I would limit the amount of tokens to like 5 to 10 million because you don't want to have too many tokens because then it just kind of makes it watered down where anyone and everybody could have a token and you really can't appreciate the token too much if there's like a billion of them out there. Secondly, I would set the token price between 45 cents and $1 during the ICO stage. For obvious reasons, nobody wants to pay $5 for a token. It seems kind of weird if you're trying to raise like $30 million or some crazy number through the ICO. Um, I would run the ICO no longer than a week. Nobody likes to wait forever and ever and ever. They're just watching 1,000 different days of ICO sales. It's just annoying. Um, I would have the functioning site before the launch of the ICO. I mean, I think Finecoin has a nice running, functioning website. So I think they really kind of set the new standard for what it should be like when you are running your ICO. Have it ready. Just be ready to go. I mean, get it going. Um, I'd say they sell no more than 65% of the available tokens in the ICO rounds because you really don't want to have no control over your token. You can't really control the price. You can't really stop the bleeding, so to speak, if something happens. If somebody decides to dump, you can't really do anything because you don't have enough of the token. So they're dumping a huge amount of the tokens. Just say somebody buys, 100 or 200,000 tokens and starts dumping it. Say four or five people that now you got a million tokens out there that are getting dumped by these whales. So you kind of want to have control over that. Um, After the ISO round, I would launch staking, 1 week later, and have a 24-hour staking time with a limited staking time. So you can earn, maybe one day you only want to stake for a day, and then the price appreciates. You want to hurry up and make a quick sale of some of your tokens. You want to be able to do that and not miss out on the appreciation. So that's what I would do. I would launch lending a week after the staking just to give people an opportunity to who didn't get to purchase a large amount of tokens, an opportunity to get some free tokens. Just 10% monthly, which is what, about a third of a percent or something like that a month. So it's not like you're gonna make a huge amount of tokens, but a third of a percent a day is not bad. It's something. It gives people an opportunity to get a little bit more tokens. Then I would probably launch the lending a week after the staking for obvious reasons, like I said earlier, to allow people to accumulate a little bit more coins so that way they kind of, feel a little bit better about it. Because I know some of these ICOs, I didn't get a bunch in and I wish I could stake while I was waiting for everything to get going. So, was it launch staking 1 week after the ICO, you would have lending 1 week later, and then you would have a interest rate between 36 and 45% monthly, with a promo rate maybe of about 3.5, 4, 5% for 7 days. That way, people have a incentive to actually lend their tokens, and then you open at maybe $8. That way you keep it kind of realistic. Because if Cresos, I mean, I love they did it at 14 because I obviously have some tokens, but realistically, when the exchange opens, nobody's going to pay $14 for those damn tokens. They're going to probably go down to like $6 or $7 immediately. So why not even just start there? If you're around $8, I think people will pay that. I think they'll pay around $7 to $8 for the token. So that way, people who lent their tokens aren't getting bopped over the head when they go to sell them. But $8 is kind of cool. It's like it's a happy median. It's not too high and it's not too low. It's enough for people to want to lend, because if they bought in at $1, up here 45 cents to $1, and you're loaning at $8, that's 8x right there, 8 to 16, 17x right there. I don't think too many people are going to complain about making 8 times their money back, especially if we're talking about what, a week of ICO, a week of staking, and then you're lending. I mean, 2 weeks after you bought it, the thing's already fucking worth 8 times what you paid for it. I mean, if people complain about that, they're just crazy. Next, I would launch the internal exchange 5 days later, so that way people can accumulate, give them opportunity to lend some of those tokens that they bought in the ICO and get some of them off the market, so that way people can buy them and the price would appreciate a little bit quicker. I don't want to imagine it would appreciate, in a day or two, but within 2 to 3 weeks you could probably see a price go from $8 maybe up to like 20, 2025, which is realistic. I mean, people want to hear these huge numbers. Oh, it's going to go up to $100 in 3 weeks because Devore did it and all that. Let's not bank on something that went up and now it's down to like $4 or $5. So we don't want that. We want it to continuously grow at a steady rate without it being unrealistic to where it crashes back down because there's a major correction. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Have a referral system that's no more than 3 levels deep, paying no more than 12%, for example, 7% for level 1, 4% for level 2, and 1% for level 3. I mean, it shouldn't be a huge referral program where people are making 20-30% referrals. I mean, obviously YouTubers are going to want to make as much as possible, but let's keep it realistic. You could be greedy now and only a few people make a nice hit, and then the rest of the people fall apart, and then it gets called a scam, a Ponzi scheme, and all that crap. Why not just do it right from the beginning? Let's be realistic. Let's think of this as a business instead of a get-rich-quick scam. If the interest rates are 36 to 45% a month, and you got a nice promo rate for 3.5%. So if these guys are buying, 5, 10, 20,000 tokens, and they loan 10,000 tokens at $8, that's $80,000. And if they get that 3.5% for 7 days, I mean, that's a nice incentive. I mean, maybe they'll reinvest those first 7 days worth of promo just so they can compound their money a little bit, or maybe they'll just pull it out. Who knows? Who cares? That's up to the individual investor. But the referral program should not be the main incentive of these lending platforms. Oh yeah, get a bunch of referrals, get a bunch of free tokens, and then you can get rich. And then the platform will be crashing in 3 to 6 months if we're lucky. Yeah, cool. Let's all run away with people's money. No, let's not. Okay, don't have a long capital release time. I don't really like those 299 days, and that's just crazy. I mean, let's just keep it simple. Maybe max it out at 180 days for the $100 to $1,000 range, or whatever the range would be, and then go from there. I mean, maybe have it down to like 90 days at the top of the of the tiers. Have 90 days be it, so that way it gives time for the bot to make some money or whatever, which we'll get into later on the next section. How does the platform make money so it can keep going? Charge a small fee to convert interest to BTC. I'm not saying something that's going to be like 1%. I'm talking about like such a small fee that those pennies add up. Maybe you could do some kind of sliding scale or something like that, but just charge a small fee. I don't mind paying a small fee if it's going to continue to make me money in the long run. I'd rather pay a little bit up front to guarantee the longevity of the platform, because if you're just, oh, I don't want to pay any fees, I'm just greedy, I just want me, you got to remember, it's not really just you, and the platform's not theirs, it's our platform. So if we want our platform to be successful, we need to be willing to pay small fees. And I'm not saying some ridiculous fees. I mean, maybe you pull out, $500 worth of interest, and the fees like, I don't know, $2 or something like that, or $1, something small. $1 or $2 is not going to kill you on $500. These are just random numbers. Obviously, obviously you would have to run some kind of calculations and see what would make the most sense, as far as, traffic wise, how many people you got signed up. And then, maybe the fees would decrease as more people were involved with the lending platform. There's so many different ways to play with this. So I think it's a fair thing to do. Charge a small fee to transfer BTC to external wallets. Especially, we get to the other, the next point, it would make sense, to charge one or the other. Maybe charge one fee to convert interest to BTC, or just charge a transfer fee, or both. I don't know. It just depends. You'd have to weigh it out, the pros and cons. This is a really quick list that I just came up with maybe in like 5 or 10 minutes. So, take it with a grain of salt. It's not like the end all be all. It's not a finalized product. Obviously, it's just my personal opinion. So just pay some fees, pay a little bit of fees to keep the money coming in the long run. Number 3, list other altcoins on the exchange that we can convert our tokens or coins into instead of just BTC, with small fee to convert, like most exchanges, maybe slightly lower to be competitive, so that we have a little bit in advance. So people are like, okay, well, I can go to the XYZ coin or whatever you want to call it and convert my interest daily into BTC, and then I could buy other coins right on their side. Or maybe you could convert your interest right into those other coins. And like I said, it goes back with that small little fee, to do it just like every other exchange does. Nobody does anything for free. I mean, you're not in business to do charity. You're in business to make money. So let's make the money for the platform. So that way that's a backup plan for them. These fees are just a cushion for the company to have money to pay us out on these loans and to pay these capital releases. I mean, you put this money in the reserve, you just let it build. Maybe they buy a bunch of Bitcoin with it, and as Bitcoin appreciates, it's like a long-term hold. So they're investing the fees to sustain the platform. Number 4, do a lottery system to draw more people to the site and also get people, more involved with the actual platform. Like, oh man, they got a lottery system. I can win, I don't know, $1,000 worth of BTC or something, or some other kind of altcoin, or maybe have this small little prize, have a couple different ones, so that way people can actually make some money, participating in the lottery. Obviously they should have a trading bot, some kind of trading strategy, maybe arbitrage, or just trading on different or just trading different altcoins, maybe the top 100 or something, and just trade them around and make some money like that. Obviously they should have excellent support and communication. If there's a problem, they should be able to get to you through your ticket, your support ticket, within 24, 48 hours, and they should be communicating, if not daily, at least every couple of days, on some kind of social media. Email's nice. I like email, that way everybody gets the mass emails. It just spend a little bit of money, get the emails out. Facebook, Telegram, etc., whatever people are doing, Twitter, and just have somebody dedicated to doing that. Facebook and Twitter all day, and Telegram, maybe jump into Telegram a few hours a day, 2 hours a day, or just split it up. Like I said, these are just my thoughts, so just let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe we can refine this list and improve upon it, and maybe one of these new ICO people who are creating these platforms will actually see this list and actually take some of these things into consideration and actually make a long-term lending platform that actually functions and pays out and everybody's happy, and we're talking long-term investment. I mean, you could dominate the lending industry with implementing a few of these things, if not all of them, and really take over and be the one. Because right now it's just like the .com era. Everybody's just coming out with a freaking lending platform, anything and everything to get some money. And then what happens? 95% of them are going to fall apart because they're all going to, it's all trial and error right now. It's the Wild West. Nobody really knows how to make a perfect lending ICO or a lending platform right now. But I think this is a good start. Somebody could build off of this, I think, and really make something that's sustainable where people can make a lot of money, and the token would appreciate, because the longer it stays paying and the longer it's functioning, the higher the value of the token is. So this thing could be going for years and years and years, and then it just get to a point where people couldn't really buy in like they wanted to, because, well, they would be able to. They just have to pay for it. They have to pay for the tokens, because at some point, the people who are in at the beginning are going to be reloaning for months and months, maybe even years, and the people are going to have to try to buy these tokens. It's just going to make it harder and harder and harder, and then people are going to just keep loaning They're going to keep buying the tokens. They're going to keep making money. They're going to keep collecting the fees. You have all these different things, and they can just build more promotions and stuff off of this. This is just a good start, I believe. So let me know what you think below. Like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, because I'll be coming up with more and more ideas as time goes on. So thanks for watching.